You know, he went through the ranks of the NIC, that's the Natal Indian Congress, which, as we know, historically is one of those organizations in the dark days of apartheid that then amalgamated with the African National Congress. Thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. Fikile, the speech you gave today, I just want to start there, just broadly. What inspired it?
Thank you, Braden, and the listeners. Really what inspired the speech is that let's not say something that is not truthful about PG, because I think in the speech we describe who he was, and we owe it to him for his dedication to the struggle. We owe it to him to give a fitting tribute to a person who has spent his entire life for the liberation of our people. So we can't be distracted by those who want us to emphasize the negative. Otherwise, the negative is outweighed by the positive. I mean, South Africans from all walks of life have been out there pouring their hearts out about appreciating who he was and what he did.
Of sadness as well about the fact that there was a time in recent years where he must have felt lonely. His daughter spoke about that. At the time, the very difficult time, I think, even for the African National Congress. I mean, any regrets there as the SG when you look back?
I think we could have done better, and that's what he stood for. We thought it end with the ascendancy to office of people like PG and all of that, and forgot that those who are affected by state capture will not leave it, at ease and all of that. And he was exposed to vitriolic attacks from all of those who were affected, and like the president described, racist attacks. And I think we could have done better as a movement, as an ANC, to defend him in that sense.
In his eulogy, saying that Pravin Gordhan's spear has fallen. Now it is up to us to pick it up together and go forward. How should we interpret that? You've mentioned the issue of racist, vitriolic and vilifying attacks against him, and he stood for non-racialism. But when you pick up that spear today going forward, what does it mean?
Picking up the spear, the ANC is already on that path. Renewal is our lodestar program of the African National Congress, which we must run with it. And at the same time, we must continue with the work of ensuring that the economy performs. We must continue to really, within the state, ensure that state organs do function and function properly and efficiently. And that is why government has also adopted new mechanisms in beefing up law enforcement agencies within the state, but at the same time the state enterprises, which have now been allocated to different ministries. But over and above that, we're having a discussion within the ANC and the Alliance about the state company, in terms of learning from other experiences of other countries. How can this work without taking away these state assets from other entities? So those are the discussions we're having going forward in tribute to Comrade PG.
One of the last speeches he gave, and it was quoted by his daughter today at the funeral service, Anisha, is that he says it's time for a reset. And ANC speaking about renewal. How could you, when you hear that the reset message was very strong from him, how could you marry that with renewal?
Reset and renewal run in tandem. What PG stood for in terms of fighting state capture have led us to somewhere, including that reset in terms of renewal agenda and giving meaning to it. So we've got to unveil a plan and a program in terms of renewal. Already elements of renewal are out there being implemented in the state and in the party. But the Renewal Commission led by the President and ex-presidents and the Secretary General and other members has got to produce a plan of implementation to give meaning to that. Our Veterans League have started that work. And tomorrow we will be having an important meeting at 10 o'clock where we will be giving shape to this program and finally launch it and implement it. President Mbeki has been doing an important job with the structures of the organization, but it's time to mold that work into a program for the entire organization for implementation. Talk is over, elections are over. We know what has befallen the liberation movement in the country. So we've got to get on with action.
Yeah, your ally, as in Dr. Blade Nzimande, representing the Communist Party today, saying that let's stop mourning. He said, let's stop talking to you as a party, as an ally, to say it's time to do that. Let's focus on going forward. I mean, it looks like there is a rallying call to move beyond the elections. What would that look like for the ANC?
He was right, spot on. I think we are on the same wavelength that attacking each other is not what South Africans are about. What Blade Nzimande was saying today as an elder, member of the party, was to say, we have a plan, we have a program, let's implement and let's work together. And that's what we're doing. We'll be having an APC, Alliance Political Council, and moving towards the summit. And then and let's move on the ground programmatically. And the challenges that we've got, theoretical, misunderstanding there and there, will be ironed out in the alliance. And I'm certain because we are leadership now. And people don't want to hear and membership of the ANC as mourning and all of that. They want to say in the General Council, what did you do and how far have you gone to implement our resolutions? So that is what we are focusing on going forward.
Another aspect that has come out of Pravin Gordhan's death and the funeral through messages, including your own speech today, is his service, his selfless service. He was there to serve the people, even when he was a pharmacist.
Yes.
I was told earlier by Dr. Sibongisoni Dlomo that when he was a medical student here in KZN and Pravin Gordhan was a pharmacist, he used to help underground ANC MK cadres coming from outside the country who had malaria. Now, if you went to a clinic in Durban then, say you've got malaria, you're raising an alarm immediately. Are you coming from Mozambique?
Yeah.
Where are you coming from?
Yeah.
So he used to assist saving the people on the ground, even underground. Mm-hmm. How do you as the ANC believe you can energize the public service as a whole to really embrace this service mentality so we do away with currently what we're seeing either in public hospitals or in offices where you go, you see long queues and you see how the public is being treated?
We are very excited about what we see the 7th administration in the government of national unity is doing in serving people and taking off from where the 6th administration left off. There were many challenges there, and some of those have led us to 40%. But there are very good things that government has been doing. And we're very happy. You will see as well as we go to 100 days of this GNU in November, the work that will have been covered. I mean, the trains are coming back. The logistics and freight strategy is going to be implemented and is being implemented, is in the works. The state assets restructuring going forward, these are just the positives. And then the social compact, business, labor, and as well as government is on the right track. So you are looking ahead to good days for the economy and for our country, and that is what is inspiring in the early days of the GNU going forward.
And for the ANC, are you looking forward ahead to good days?
ANC is looking ahead to good days. Our student organizations are performing well in the in the campuses. We are focusing the organization on renewal, and we are working very hard to basically understand the moment and at the same time implement what is called what needs to be done. We have gone to the NEC meeting. We are interacting with our branches. The biggest task at the moment is the task of rebuilding and building the ANC. First, internally as an organization, that is the task we are going to undertake with vigor, to implement alongside that the Renewal project, and you will see. I'm very much optimistic and confident of the work we are doing, that a year from now you are going to see a better ANC. We are launching our foundational political education program. Our membership system is proper, and we will be on the drive and all of that. So we're focusing on this, backing up government on the other hand to do the right things. Load shedding, the lights are on. The issue of tariffs we need to address going forward. Look, the booming and a well-performing economy it looks like it's in the cards. So
yeah, but
we're looking.
But a growth of 0.4% of GDP in the second quarter of this year, that's still very, very, very small.
Yes.
What do you, as the ANC, believe will be the key levers to move, to reignite the economy?
Key is industrialization. Like in our manifesto, industrialization of the economy, and ensure that we assemble goods here in the country, but we no longer export raw materials out of the country only, but we assemble and export. And that's what we're looking at. A brave industrialization program in our manifesto is what is key and a game changer in terms of economic growth in our country.
Are you hopeful that the GNU that has reignited business confidence will spill more into investor confidence, so we can see a real investment coming in, as in FDI?
We need that. Like I talked about social compact, because business has disinvested in this country for quite some time. I mean, we make one example, like for instance, the smelter that was supposed to be built in Limpopo and then went to Zimbabwe. And then 800 jobs lost in the Republic. Big investment, but people holding back in terms of investing in the economy. Now, there is what is called out there business confidence. We need business to partner with government for the industrialization program to create jobs for the country.
Business wants reforms. Business wants some reforms.
Reforms are on the way. If you look at the unbundling of, in particular, ESCOM, has actually led to seeing the generation capacity unbundling, giving us the proper result and bringing the right people to good to positions.
So leadership, the quality of leadership is
we
important.
have good people at ESCOM right now, and some of them had to be fetched by the board that has got the backing of government to have confidence. It's important. Look at PRASA. Look at the fight we are putting up at RAF to fight the liability and even corrupt things. At the health, Mutsualedi again leading there in terms of corrupt lawyers and all of that. So in that sense, as we implement reforms, but action that is seen by everybody is what will build confidence in our country, and in terms of the social compact partnership with business and labor.
As a party, is there anything you're thinking about? It might be too early, and I don't mean to be unfair in this question, but as a party, when you're going to be reflecting on Pravin Gordhan's life, are you going to be thinking, how do you keep the legacy alive? What can you do? Because he represented integrity, he represented ethical leadership, he was a champion for good governance, he was anti-corruption. You've got a number of touch points that you could use going forward. Are you having any thoughts about the way forward to keep his name alive?
When PG passed on, there was a big pushback. Even now as we speak to you, trolls all over the place wanting us to erase the work PG did. The ANC said no. And then you could see from the memorial services, which will continue going forward and all of that, that PG wrote his biography and he have shown his work whilst he was still alive. So when you talk about this man in the era of struggle, in the process towards transition and post-transition in terms of democratic governance in the country and all of that, PG was there. And there's nobody who can tell you that, no, we don't know where this person comes from and so on. The ANC said we keep his legacy alive by not just talking but walk the talk. And that's what we have done. As we come here to Durban and even beyond Durban, the ANC has been there to talk about Pravin Gordhan and what he has done for our country and also for our struggle.
Thank you very much. Fikile Mbalula, the Secretary General of the African National Congress, the ANC, the party to which Pravin Gordhan belonged for many decades and played a very